So to cast off stitches, the first thing we are going to do is make one full row with no yarn. So just put the yarn, you can put the yarn in the middle of your machine and just make a row without yarn. Okay, so this is the first step. Now, the next steps, they change a bit, and that's because depending on what you want to do, you're gonna cast off differently, okay? Now, there's 3 different ways, there's a lot of different ways actually to cast off your stitches. Okay, one way is just simply get your little needle that, you know, the addi machine has a red one and this is the SENTRO machine one. Put some waste yarn through and just grab the stitches one by one here. Okay, and then you're gonna have this looking like this at the end. Okay, now if you don't know yet how you're gonna finish it off, sometimes you don't know, just cast off this way and then the stitches are gonna be open and you can, you know, after that just put it through a needle and just make more rows or just finish it off with seaming or something like that, okay? Finish it off with a seaming knitting stitch. Okay, now, if you are joining many panels together to make something, okay? Like here, I have a skirt that I'm making right now, and this skirt needed 4 panels. So I casted all the panels off using the same circular needles. So I casted my 4 panels all together in the same needle. So what you do is you just use the same needles to cast off all your panels and just make sure they are facing the same way. You want the purl side always inside. So all the panels, when you finish with a ribbing, and that's why the circular needle, that's what the circular needle is good for. To finish any sweater or anything, tank top, anything you're making with a ribbing. Okay, so this is why, that's what the circular needles are good for. Now, circular needles, 32 inches long, okay? It's a long one, 80 centimeters long, so you can add all your panels in it. If you buy it too short, you're not gonna be able to add too many stitches and you're gonna end up having to buy a new one. So this one came with my addi machine, which is really cool. It came for free, it's a gift. So if you buy your addi machine, you get one of these 5.5 millimeters, perfect for any project that comes out of this machine. So how you do that? So the way you do that, you put the needle underneath the stitch and put the hook through, put the needle through. Under, through, under. And you do this same way if you are using a knitting needle. Okay, you do the same way if you're using your SENTRO machine. It's quite easy actually. What I like about it, so what I use this mostly, this way of casting off stitches, it is when I want to join with stitches on the top, like if I'm joining shoulders or if I'm making ribbing, okay? This is what I like to use these needles for. Now, for this, to explain to you guys this next type of casting off stitches, I made another panel with a few stitches and I made it for a very little long panel here, just to explain to you how I made. So I finished making the last row and I still have my yarn in there, so I'm going to remove this yarn, remove from that needle there, place in the middle and make it without the yarn. Okay, Now, because I need to start working with casting off the stitches with this yarn here, all I'm going to do is keep going all the way until I'm back in that first stitch. Okay, and then I'm going to put really close for you guys to see it. What I'm going to do here is with my hook, it's a crochet hook, I'm going to grab the two first stitches this way. I think it can be this way, so this way, grab the first one and then the second one. Once you have them inside your hook, you're gonna yarn over and pull it through. So we need to here work with long loops. As you can see here, I have a very wide loop, and this is because if I don't do this way, it's gonna be too tight and it's gonna be more tight than the panel size at the end, okay? So now that I have this second loop, this first loop on my hand, I'm going to release this first stitch and place my finger on top of the next one, so this one doesn't come out of the needles, because removing stitches this way, it's a little harder, okay? And that's why you have to always cover the next stitch, otherwise you will come out of that bag and then you're gonna miss it. Okay, so I'm going to again put the hook through that stitch, yarn over, yarn over, and pull it through. Okay, loop very wide again, put it through the next stitch, yarn over, and pull it through. Now I can keep making it all the way to the end, and this way you're casting off at the same time. As you can see, it is a little harder, and you can't really see the tension. This was more to show you guys that it is possible and it's an option, but I wouldn't recommend this option, okay? You can do the same thing with after using the waste yarn to cast off as well. Oops, I was out of place here. One more, almost there. As you can see, once you do it a few times, it's not that hard, but it requires a bit more practice with your hands. And even though I'm making, and now this is the last stitch, I'm gonna do this, and then again, okay? So as you can see, it's more tied than the size of the panel, and that's why I don't like this option, okay? But if you're gonna like make a ribbing stitch, and you have a lot of, and you have two panels, and you can have this happening, like if you have two panels that are wide enough and you want to make them more thin, less wide to finish with a ribbing, you can use this option, and it's quite fast as well, but I don't recommend it, okay? But it's doable. Just to show you guys, this is the third option, straight to crochet, okay?